Hello English learners, welcome back to another video. I am coming to you today on a day trip to Port Issac, which is like a small village in Cornwall. It's quite well known, I think, because it's, I believe, the setting of where they filmed a TV series, a British TV series called Doc Martin. I've never seen it actually, but I think it's quite well known for that. So maybe some of you who have seen it will recognise it. You can have a look at the scenery behind me here. So Cornwall is the most southwestern county in England, and where we are now in Port Issac, this is kind of in the very northeast of Cornwall. So it's like this kind of jagged and rugged coastline of North Cornwall. So as you might be able to see behind me here, got these like beautiful cliffs, quite large waves as well. North Cornwall is known for its larger waves. Yeah, Port Issac is, or has been, primarily a kind of a fishing village since the early 1400s or 14th century, I believe. So it's very kind of got a lot of history here. The population is just over 700 people, so it's quite a small village. But yeah, I thought I could kind of show you around a bit today. I haven't been here since I was a child, so I'm kind of basically seeing it for the first time myself as well. And yeah, we'll walk around. We're gonna walk over to Port Quin today. This comes from the Cornish phrase, something like Porth Wyn, which is like white harbour or white port. So we're going to walk over there today and hopefully see some nice views along the way. Yeah, even though it's quite a sunny day actually, it's quite blustery, quite windy today. So I'm wrapped up nice and warm, and hopefully you can hear me over all the wind. So I might have to cover my microphone a little bit today. So now we're kind of on the main beach here in Port Issac. It's not exactly the kind of beach you'd want to sit on. It's, as I said, it's a fishing village. There's lots of fishing stuff behind me. It smells a bit fishy as well. And I'm trying carefully now not to trip over on any of the seaweed on the floor. But yeah, as I said, I don't really have much memory of Port Issac. I haven't really been here much before. But not far from it, just a few miles from here, there is a place called Polzeath, and I've got so many memories at Polzeath when I was younger. I used to go there bodyboarding every Sunday. It's a really, really beautiful beach. If you ever do come to Cornwall, a huge beach, quite popular in the summer, called Polzeath. And whenever you see a word like that, P-O-L, pole, in Cornwall, that's just the Cornish word meaning like a pool or a lake, or some kind of body, small body of water. And you'll see it quite a lot in Cornwall. So Polzeath, I don't know what Zeth means actually. So I've just found some kind of maybe jawbone or something from a fish. That's kind of cool, with very spiky teeth on it. What do you guys think? Would you like to live in that house up there? Or a little bit scary right next to the cliff? I don't know. Maybe for the right price. So I've just climbed up to the breakwater here on the beach. You'll see it from a better angle in a second. It's quite windy up here. Hopefully you can hear me again. But yeah, I guess at the moment the tide is out, but I guess normally when the tide is quite high, it kind of protects the harbour here, the port, so the fishing boats don't get swept away and that kind of stuff. I think there's been a few floods in the past as well, a few storms over the last couple of decades. So I guess this breakwater will protect the village from the kind of harsh, stormy seas as well, I suppose. But yeah, kind of cool, but a little bit scary. It's quite high up here. Okay, so I think our plan now, we're gonna walk back along here. Maybe we'll see Doc Martin's house, which might be one of these up here. Again, I haven't seen the show, so if you have seen it, you can let me know. Might be one of these ones, I'm not sure. We'll walk up that path up there, and then over to Port Quin, which is somewhere in that direction. Apparently it's a nice walk, but we can have a look and see. Apparently Port Issac is also home to at least once it was the narrowest, the most narrow thoroughfare. That's a hard word for me to say, which just means like a passage that connects two roads or something like that. And it used to be the narrowest in the whole country. The name of it is called Squeeze Belly Alley. Maybe that makes sense. You have to squeeze to get through. So we're going to try and find that now, and let's see. Hopefully we can find it. Yeah, I found the street. It's very, very narrow in here. I want to be quiet because there's houses here. I don't want to disturb anyone. But look how narrow this is. You could never fit two people in here. So even I hit my head. I'm not that tall. So now we're walking around the coastland, going to Port Quinn, which we might see over the hill in just a second. Very windy here because we're right on the edge of the cliff. And that's one thing I do highly recommend anyone do if they do come to Cornwall, which I always recommend. And that's you can walk along the southwest coastal path. I believe we're on that now. I haven't seen any signs, but I guess we are, because basically this is a path that runs around the entire peninsula, the entire kind of coastline of Cornwall. And you can kind of walk along the path and enjoy the views just like this. So there'll be many places where you can go. If you want to walk the whole path, probably it would take a few weeks. It's that long. But I really do recommend doing that if you do come here. If I had to be a cow in any field in the world, I think it would be this one. It'd be a bit windy, a bit cold by the sea, but you have this beautiful view here. So if I were a cow, this is where I would live. That's a good conditional for you. So I have to be honest, I'm not sure if we can make it all the way to Port Quinn. On the map it looks a lot closer, but when you get here in real life, you get a lot of this kind of stuff, a lot of uphills and downhills, which of course is to be expected when you're walking along the coastline. But we might not make it all the way, but regardless, I hope you are enjoying the video, enjoying the sights anyway, even if we don't make it there. By the way, I think a useful word for places like this would be the word cove. So what we're looking at here is just a small cove. Don't know what it's called, but probably it has a name. But a cove is basically like a sheltered bay, so kind of inland area where the sea comes in. And it's a bit annoying for us because we have to walk all the way back and around and then up these steps. But yeah, very beautiful cove here, tiny hidden beach. So if you look around a lot of these coves and walk along the coastline, you'll find some like really great hidden gems, some hidden areas where you can relax, where it's not too busy. So I think that's a nice thing about Cornwall. There's a lot of hidden coves everywhere. So yeah, despite my earlier complaining, I did actually manage to sluggishly make it up those steps. And I've got a beautiful view at the top here. It's very sunny, but I'm happy about that because we've had miserable and kind of foggy weather this week. But yeah, looking behind me over in this direction would be Port Quinn, somewhere over here. Maybe we'll have to go there another day. I don't think we're going to make it. It's another maybe 2 miles to go, and I don't really fancy walking all that way. But I think we're going to head back now and maybe pop into a cafe back in Port Issac. And on the way back, hopefully, I'm going to see Doc Martin's house. I think we walked past it on the way here and I didn't know what I was looking for. So if you do watch the show, leave a comment below and let me know, and then maybe you'll have a lot more to say about this village than I do. But I hope you're enjoying the scenery anyway. Yeah, so I had to Google it because I walked past it the first time. I'm not too sure. But the one I just showed you, this one here, I think the small one right here, that was Doc Martin's house on the TV show. So thank you everyone for watching my video today. I think I'll leave it here. We've seen quite a lot around, had a good look through the village, learned some words as well, hopefully. And now it's starting to rain, so I think it's perfect timing to head back to the car and call it a day, end it here. So thank you very much for watching. If there's anywhere else you would like me to go and maybe give you a tour around in England, let me know and I'll see if I can do that. But thanks a lot and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.